Cirque du Soleil is bringing a cold snap to Colorado Springs, and we are hanging out with the main character coming up next.
Soleil's newest show will hit the Broadmoor World Arena later this month, and this must-see attraction has entertained and stunned audiences around the world.
Right now, we check on Laura McDonald on location in Chicago with a preview now of what's coming this way and what goes into making this show such a great event for families and people of all ages. Lauren?
Colorado Springs, you better grab your flannel because it is going to be frigid. Later this month at the Broadmoor World Arena, Crystal is coming to Colorado Springs, and our very own Crystal is right here with us, the star of the show. Tell us about your character.
She is tormented. I don't want to give her an age because she's supposed to be timeless. She's a bit tormented. Doesn't fit in, but she escapes from her house, falls through ice, and creates her own world. And at the end of going through her own journey, she gets the strength and power to become the girl that she wants to be, and she begins to believe in herself more and finds her true love, and then she comes back to life. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's a great ending.
You guys are going to have to just come to the Broadmoor Arena and watch, right? So this is your first time performing with Cirque in this show, right?
Yes.
So you're the lead character.
Yes.
How does that feel?
I mean, it's a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful for it. But as a lead character, I think if I didn't have every single person out there, my lead character wouldn't really matter. Because every single person matters, every single artist matters in this show.
You guys work so hard together, no doubt. How much training goes into this?
A lot of training. I mean, we have Monday usually off, but people sometimes train in the gym, and then Tuesday we start training a little bit more, Wednesday rehearsals, and then we start shows. Our days usually on show days go from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Okay, very cool. So this show is a little bit different from most Cirque shows. So for someone who has never been to a Cirque show at all, the ice, obviously, that's involved.
Yes.
How big of a factor does that play in all of your thinking about how things are going to work the right way?
Huge, huge. I mean, you have the acrobats that are never really skated. I mean, they're skating in the show, as well as they're wearing shoes that have crampons on them, which is like metal pieces that can keep them from doing tricks and not falling. And of course it's scary, but because of what we've done in creation, we have like a process, we have everything, and Cirque takes such good care of the artists, and everything that they're providing us works. So
I know you don't want to give the show away, but do you have a favorite part that you want to tell us about or give us a hint about to look out for?
So there's two favorite parts. There's a part where Crystal finds her love, and it's a strap act. And I've never done straps before, so that's been a huge journey for myself. As well as the last bit where she is reaching, she's going back through the ice, and it's called hand to trap. And I'm gonna leave it there at that because you have to see that part.
We are so happy to be with you here in Chicago. We can't wait until you come to Colorado Springs, January 31st through February 4th at the Broadmoor World Arena, guys. Make sure you get your tickets to Crystal.
I can't wait. I love Cirque.
I was going to say, you're excited.
I am. It's such an amazing, just all the shows they do.
Yeah, it's impressive what they can pull off.
Good morning. Later this month, Cirque du Soleil meets the ice in the Pikes Peak region. Where, when, and what you can expect coming up next.
Hottest shows on Earth this winter as Cirque du Soleil makes a stop at the Broadmoor World Arena with their groundbreaking show, Crystal.
Yes, and right now Laura McDonald has a preview of what to expect from the world-renowned performers as they heat up the season's coolest attraction. She is on location in Chicago. Lauren, good morning.
Good morning from Chicago, guys. We are previewing Cirque du Soleil's Crystal, the greatest and latest production from Cirque du Soleil, here with the director of the show, Crystal. We are here with Shayna Carroll right now. So you came up with this whole idea, first time that Cirque du Soleil meets the ice.
Yes, yeah.
So give us kind of a background. We don't want to give the show away, but tell us kind of what's it about. What's it about?
Well, first I would say that this whole mix of ice and acrobatics, we really wanted to do a hybrid show and really kind of create through it a whole new form and do something that you couldn't see in a normal ice show, but you could never see in a normal circus show either, and together create something completely new. And so that was really one of the goals on a technical level. The story of the show, there's a young girl named Crystal who is a bit of a misfit, who is searching for something, and she falls through the ice. at the beginning of the show and goes through a little bit of this sort of journey under the ice where she sees a shadow version of herself, a reflection, and discovers through it sort of her creativity and her power of imagination, and then eventually that gives her the strength to kind of go back up and break the ice and come back to the surface. Should I give too much of the show away? But
people are going to have to come watch it and see for themselves,
exactly, right? Exactly.
So you mentioned the technical side of things. How much technical issues does the ice present? What else do you have to consider?
Right. Oh gosh, an enormous amount. Well, especially in our case, because we were creating all these new disciplines. So we had a trapeze artist wearing ice skates, so she could skate on the ice and then go up on the trapeze. But of course, doing trapeze with weights on your feet, where you have a blade and you can't pass under the bar and you can't flex or point. I mean, that was a whole. She had to relearn the trapeze. We have acrobats who are wearing crampons, who have to tumble and run and catch people who are flying high in the air. So we had to test tons and tons of versions of crampons to make sure there was the right grip. And that people wouldn't slide. And even the ice itself. I mean, we discovered that had a huge impact on, if it was too slippery for the crampons, too soft, too hard, the speed. So there was really a whole other element that we had to work with. And the skaters learned some acrobatics so that we could make that hybrid happen. So we would do, something that was more of a typical acrobatic move, thrown by porters, caught by a skater, and then taken into a dual skating pattern, for instance. So it was really a lot of cross-pollination.
Right.
Yeah.
So older dogs can learn new tricks, right?
Yes.
They can. All right, This is definitely going to be a great show coming to the Broadmoor World Arena January 31st through February 4th. For people who have never seen a Cirque show before, what can they expect?
Wow, expect what you won't expect. Really, it's something completely new and innovative. I think if you're not used to seeing ice shows, I mean, there is that element of ice, of speed, of breaking, of stopping, and there really is this exhilaration from the speed of the ice that you would normally see in a Cirque du Soleil show. If you're used to seeing ice shows, you're not used to seeing people fly 40 feet in the air above the ice, so there's that. And then, the entirely new disciplines that have never been done, ramps, extreme skating on ice, trapeze on ice, things like that are really have never been seen. So it's quite exciting. And as a director, it was really an amazing opportunity to do something that's new, because that's what you want. So yeah.
Thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Yes,
we cannot wait until the show comes to Colorado Springs later this month, guys. Cirque du Soleil is breaking through the ice with a brand new show. It is definitely gonna wow you.
It's so exciting, and we know how good and talented they are at Cirque and the shows they do, but now all that is done on ice.
Right. It's like,
while they're
how
skating.
Can we make it more impressive?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So go check it out for sure. Now, 6:30.
Grab some hot chocolate and an extra sweater. We're hanging out at Cirque du Soleil's Crystal in the Wardrobe Room, and this show is coming to Colorado Springs at the end of the month. You don't want to miss it. That's coming up next.
Colorado Springs will host one of the hottest shows on earth this winter as Cirque du Soleil makes a stop at the Broadmoor World Arena with their groundbreaking show, Crystal.
And right now, Laura McDonald has a preview of what to expect from the world-renowned performers as they heat up this season's coolest attraction. She is on location right now in Chicago. Lauren, good morning.
This winter is going to be a little bit more icy as Cirque du Soleil brings Crystal to the Broadmoor Arena in Colorado Springs January 31st through February 4th. And we are getting a sneak peek today in Chicago. Julie, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Publicist for this show. So we're here by the wardrobe behind the stage, right?
Exactly. We're actually in the Quick Change, which is a very unique space in the backstage area. This is where you have 40 cast members that does 3 to 4 costume change at a very fast pace.
So they've got to be able to rip the clothes off fast, change into their new ones. And you said the ice actually plays a role in the costumes for this show as well.
Yes, definitely. We had to explore various fabric that could allow us to, one, be always safe. Safety is always our main priority in everything we do. But ice is wet, it has to light. So we had to make a bit of research and development and find some fabric that could allow the artist to actually glide and slide on the ice, and the costume would remain dry. So here we have one of our shadow costume that is used in our throughout the show at different moments. But this costume, the fabric is quite water resistant and made to glide. And then because the skaters and the acrobats do a lot of costume change, some will already have some bits and pieces of other costume for the different scene that comes right after. But you have a zipper that actually goes in between the legs and that allows the performer just to remove the costume, get ready without removing the skates, and go ready and running off on the ice.
And they're sliding, they're skating, they're doing acrobatics. They've got to be comfortable costumes. They're also custom made.
They're custom made. So when an artist joins Cirque du Soleil, we take hundreds of measurements to make sure that everything that we do is made so they're comfortable in what they do on the act. So for example, Emily that we watch doing her makeup, her costume is a Crystal, one of Crystal's costume. Her wig, you'll see, is slightly different because the long hair running on her shoulders doesn't allow her to do a trapeze act. So there's all these little elements that actually need to be taken into consideration so they can do all the marvelous thing they do on stage.
First time Cirque du Soleil meets the ice. So let's talk about the footwear.
The footwear, yeah. So each artist, especially the acrobats, due to the nature of what acrobats do, you'll have some tumbling, you'll have some running on the ice, you'll have some pyramids, banquine with hand-to-hand, which requires our acrobats to be stable on the ice. So our head of wardrobe, Julie, did a lot of research and development to see how we could create shoes that would give them the stability they need to be grounded and to be able to do what they do in a safe way. So there's spikes under the shoes, various types. These are sometimes sharpened every week depending on the needs. Sometimes they're changed to allow the performers to always be grounded.
Great show. We cannot wait to have you guys come to Colorado Springs. Thank you so much for having us to Chicago for a sneak peek of this great show. First time, as I said, Cirque du Soleil meets the ice. Crystal, guys, get your tickets January 31st through February 4th at the Broadmoor World Arena.
Thank you very much. Looks like an exciting show.